What is up, DTube Steam blockchain? So today I want to talk a little bit about my observations of, let's say, people ignoring blockchain technology. And I think this is really interesting because first you have blockchain technology as a buzzword, and then you have, let's say, Steam blockchain. And this is something that Lord Butterfly has stated also in many ways, where Steam does really stand out. But when the mainstream looks at it, they always misrepresent Steam blockchain. So yeah, the way I see it in many ways, and just more observing the whole industry. Yeah, first you have blockchain technology, and then you have Steam blockchain. So about this topic of people ignoring blockchain technology, I mainly refer then to Steam blockchain. And it's quite interesting. For example, when I look at Twitter, and there are more people that sort of are a bit more engaged in, at least they're paying a little bit more attention to some stuff. But the more you dive deeper into this, then you really sort of see that if you want to have real change, you need to sort of improve people's real financial situation. And you sort of see that that is almost more important than trying to affect change, just talking about some stuff. You basically need to put everyone on on systems like Steam blockchain, where they have an experience of dealing with the token daily, and where they can relate it to value that's being produced, and they get the personal experience of that. And it's very fascinating, for example, when I see that people that does seem to have they seem to have a big willingness to do videos on maybe YouTube. And wait a sec. Yeah, I mean, I see this where you see a lot of people have a lot of willingness to sort of make new videos on YouTube, or maybe they're investing a lot of time and energy into being on Twitter and sort of look stuff up. But many of them, when you actually reach out and you talk about Steam blockchain or stuff like that, they seem to be still have a lot of resistance to it. And it's kind of fascinating to sort of observe that you see, oh, it actually is something deeper here probably going on. Because if you look at it from a logical perspective, there's no reason, like logically, if you look at it, why someone wouldn't use Steam blockchain. Like everyone basically benefits from it. Instagram users, Facebook users, Twitter users, they can all do the same stuff, and even YouTube users, they can all do the same stuff and be inclusive on something like a Steam blockchain. It's very, very fascinating to study when people use gloss over it. And that's something that a lot of people do. They use gloss over it, and it's almost like they want to put it in some form of box. Or even when people are talking about, let's say, maybe they're talking about Bitcoin and stuff like that. If they're talking about Bitcoin, but they're not interested in the Steam blockchain, I sort of wonder why. Because really, there's really no reason why you would not also then be interested in something like the Steam blockchain. So it's almost like, I don't know if it's some underlying psychological pattern or something like that. Or maybe many people see, for example, Steam blockchain, and then they're like, I'm gonna build something better. I'm gonna make something even better. I mean, of course, we've seen this also now with other projects that tries to be superior than the Steam blockchain. But nothing is really happening. Nothing is really happening because they're gonna run into the same issues that that I'm seeing right now. That there's a lot of people already right now ignoring something like the Steam blockchain. So I don't think it's going to be super easy then to make them sort of move to something even better, so-called better in the future. because I think you really need to look at it from a foundational perspective that would say Steam blockchain has to sort of succeed, and then sort of people can sort of this is basically where it started in many ways. So this place should sort of succeed, and if this succeeds, if Steam blockchain succeeds, then why would we need something else? Especially in terms of this niche. Something new can come up, of course. But I'm not seeing anything right now. And it's almost 4 years, so it doesn't seem like anything is close to the Steam blockchain right now. And even if they're coming, I mean, the adoption and all this, I mean, people sort of in many ways gloss over this idea that they sort of think that a community build up, they can do it super fast if they just have money. But we're not really seeing that. We see projects that raise billions and they're still sort of struggling because there is something else in here in play, which is called the human being. Uh, and uh, and it's really interesting to go into foundations, like what started something. And there's a lot of underlying driving factors, which is making Steam blockchain very unique. Where it started, the community, all of that, it makes it very unique. And it's very interesting when I see people just ignoring something like this. And yeah, I mean, it is fascinating. Um, Even though it is a major paradigm shift, I do understand that it's hard for people to grasp that sort of concept. And as people get better technology, they get first experience of better technology, and now I mean hardware. I mean, even in a modern country like Sweden, if I look at high-end smartphones, I mean, there's not that many people that have access to these devices at the moment. Even if I look at, I mean, this is a country with 10 million people, and if a new smartphone comes to an online store or something like that, maybe they have like one in stock, and then if you buy it, then they have zero in stock. So we still are having a lot of scarcity when it comes to technology, and that means that also then flows into software scarcity, where people, when they have when they when they sit on bad technology, a bad smartphone, an old smartphone, they they don't really feel so entitled to sort of start to look at, well, some better software also would sort of be cool. But I have the personal experience when you have, like, let's say a Galaxy S10 Plus or a Galaxy Note 10 Plus, you really start to consider, well, now the device is sort of maxed out. Can we look at the software now? How we can make the software better? How we can create more value out of that? So a lot of this ignoring of blockchain technology, a lot of it probably is not because people are not intelligent, but because a lot of people are still sitting on old technology, which makes them, and that sort of makes them feel sort of well, they don't have an experience. They haven't tried a software experience of something super new, and they have not the hardware sort of experience of something that is way better than what they're currently using. And also that the learning curve still is, a person needs to know some sort of technical stuff to sort of get stuff going. And also you sort of have to be with people along the way a very, very long time. I mean, I remember even when I got to the Steam blockchain, January 2018, it took around 6 months until I really understood the concepts, and that was almost a daily view for me of, or daily time and attention I took to sort of look at this, like how it actually worked. And even then it took around 6 months, which is pretty interesting. So we're probably gonna see still more of this ignoring of sort of blockchain technology, especially for people on Twitter, on Facebook, and on Instagram. And then they're gonna see that, okay, this is quite useful. It is sort of working great, and it's gonna be nice to sort of see that transition. But yeah, people have to be dedicated to something. They have to keep doing what they sort of are doing, and they cannot like, if they stop doing what they're doing, they slow down the whole train and everything sort of slows down. So people sort of have to keep doing whatever it is they're doing, and eventually you get the train moving. And I've seen this happen in the past on and when people really see the value flows, that it's just more value, then it's just gonna make sense for them. It's just gonna click in their mind, and then they're probably not going to be ignoring blockchain technology that much as most people are sort of doing right now. When, as I said in the past, right now they have to play in two systems, and that is something that really slows stuff down. Where you have two value systems. You have the new value system, and that's so superior. And then you have the old value system that a lot of people are already playing in and depending on. And a lot of people have an interest to keep the old sort of slower system keep going because they're using it. And change can be scary, even if it's better, even if it's going to be better. So that's what I want to talk a little bit about today, something that I just had on my mind. So yeah, have a great day, DTube and these